Okay, so here's a little video that I put together about a device that I essentially put together here in the last 15 minutes that I think you guys would like to see how it works inside of a car. So what is this? Well, this is actually a device used to be able to mount your iPhone in the car, especially if you're now using it to use your phone for navigation purposes, hands-free calling, as well as what I tend to use it for is for my Valentine 1 V1C connection. So how do I make something like this, and where did I get this idea? Well, this is a cheap man's way of doing things. Here's some other examples, or at least one example as to what I'm referring to. Here on Amazon, you have this device called the iMagnet, which uses a suction cup as well as a magnet to attach the iPhone to the device. So how are we going to make this ourselves? Well, this is actually pretty cheap if you want to be a cheapskate about it, and it still works quite well. And I'll actually show you how it's actually mounted inside of my car and how sturdy it actually is. First of all, what you will need is a metal plate like this that you can get from a hardware store. I happened to pick this up at Lowe's, and it was about 57 cents. I think they call it a mending plate, and it's about, again, 57 cents that you can buy one of these. I actually bought 2 of them. You want the thinner ones, not the thick ones, so you can actually bend it and shape it in whatever shape you need it to be in. Second thing you'll need is magnets. I just happen to have 4 of these really strong magnets that I placed here that you can move around. I did not glue these down. These are actually movable, but they just are so solid that they're not going anywhere. But essentially you can glue these down if you wanted to. I happen to use 4. If you have more, you could probably use another one in the middle, or a total of 6, depending on how sturdy you want this to be. But I found this 4 works pretty well. Then I really was cheap about things, and I got this piece of metal from the top of a food can that I then just took a hammer to and flattened this area out, and I actually cut it down to size. And what you may notice is when you first start hammering this down, that it'll actually bow. Over time, as you hammer it, you actually thin it out, and it actually becomes straight again. Then what you're going to do with this metal piece, okay, which is magnetic, you'll essentially put this in your iPhone case, and you don't have to glue this down. You can just easily just put this in the iPhone case itself. And what you'll do is, either way, essentially you'll put it in like this. I just happen to use a really thin iPhone case, and if it works with this, it will work with even bigger ones. Now, you may have a harder time if it's something like a Gorilla case, or one of those bigger cases that are thicker. But with this thin case, it works pretty well. Here's my iPhone. Okay, this is going to go in here. Like so. And it actually is pretty flush. You can actually even tell that it's bowing out or anything. So it sits right in between. And now this device is now going to get placed on this. And if you see this, it's actually quite sturdy. Doesn't really go anywhere. Have your iPhone upside down. You can have it right side up like so. And I'll show you how it looks like when you have it in the car. And the nice thing is you can flip this back and forth, and you can remove it just as easily. Okay? So I just happened to bend this to my configuration for what I need in my car. So I started out with this device here. I used a hammer and essentially just down the middle is what I did, and it looks like this. Next clip, I'll show you how it looks like inside of my car and how I actually put that in there. This is how the device actually sits and how I actually place it. So this device is reasonably easy to move in and out. Essentially sits right between this little gap. I can then place it right in the middle. Okay. Adjust it how I want it. And then what I can do here is, here's my iPhone with my case. Snaps right in there. I can be driving like this. I can be using it to navigate. I can even flip it up like this. If I want to take it off, I can actually take this whole thing off, and I can actually take this out and store this somewhere else. But I guess if you want to, you can always leave it here. It's not going to hurt anything. And then you can always use this for your hands-free calling or navigation, or using it with your Valentine 1 radar detector, which is sitting up there, and your V1C connection right here, so you can see what threats you're actually getting. So this is a really neat, easy way to do it. Now you can certainly spray paint this and make this a little nicer so that it's not as metallic if you want to, but this is a good start for somebody that doesn't want to spend a lot of money, such as $25 on something that you can easily make yourself.